what's your usual tipple? You don't usually drink Crown, do
you? Not usually, because it's not too easy extra dry. But every now and then I feel like a lager, and that's my go-to. I usually have that over dinner at a restaurant if I go to such an establishment.
All about that Thursday night luxury beer, mate.
Oh shit, yeah, bro. Oh mate, I bought a carton on the weekend, and I've got 4 left.
Just in time to buy another carton for this weekend, right?
Pretty much.
Logic. Right, well, we've not collectively gathered for about 3 weeks, I don't think. Lots of things going on in all of our personal lives at the minute. Dan's got computers. I've got a job. Chunt, you're moving. Lots of things stopping us from having conversations with one another. So we've got a lot to talk about today. So without further ado, we have got news stuff what happened. We'll start with the thing that young Chunt got in the newspaper about in his local town. Them shooters got some trailers, Call of Duty and Battlefield. Chunt, I'll let you take this, seems you were opinionated enough to be in the paper.
Oh man, I had a quick look at the it's just coincidental. I saw the trailer that afternoon, and then I saw the call out from the local paper that someone referred me to, or referred them to me, sorry. And I said, yeah, look, I'll have a talk with you, and anyway, and I just watched the trailer about 2 hours beforehand, and I was like, what is this shit? Like, are you not listening to your fans? Your fans and players have been saying, we want a World War I or World War II game again, or takes us back to kind of old school Call of Duty warfare type stuff, not this future spastic space stuff. If you want to play that, go do Halo or something, or Titanfall, but you know, they've had like the last 3 or 4 games is advanced something or modern something, and that's not what they want. So they come out this trailer, and it's just more of the same shit that they don't want, and everybody craps on it. And I laughed. I just sat there and was like, "Ha, that's what you get for not listening to your fan base. You get this result that you have now." And so anyway, it made news as being one of the most disliked videos on YouTube in history. So apparently, a little town like Rockhampton understands what the internet is and what the validation of such a thing is, and they decided to make a story on it. And that's where I came in and gave my thoughts. And the lady came over to my place, and I showed her my bedroom. And
that sounds wrong.
Yeah,
what are you doing, Sean?
I should rephrase that. Well, my bad. Showed her my bedroom where my setup is, and took a photo for the article. And you know, and that's what we got, and got a couple of quotes on the phone beforehand about my thoughts, and gave her the kind of the double-side Battlefield with Xbox and EA, and Call of Duty's kind of more Sony these days, and how there's 2 camps. You've got Battlefield players and COD players, and for Battlefield to come out with a game that's set in World War I, I've read a lot of people saying, well, shit, I'm going to go play Battlefield now, and hopefully it's good, because it's what they want. Like, Battlefield's kind of given them what they have wanted. I don't know if there's actual any like strategy behind that by that group at all, EA or whatever, to, well, let's give the COD players what they want and they'll come to us. I don't know if that's the scenario, but that's just what I saw, and I saw the Battlefield trailer shortly after because I was curious, and I was like, wow, this is going to be interesting to watch by the sidelines. And I just gave my quotes on the article anyway, and contacted a couple others, but I was the only real one that bothered to actually put my hand up to actually meet with them and have a photo. So that's what you get when you put yourself out there. You get to go in the local newspaper.
Well, very well done on it. But on the actual subject itself, I think it's warranted. It's time that companies like this start listening to their fans and the people that buy this shit year in, year out.
Yep.
Much to your sentiment, Chuck, like you said that you'd not, if this was quoted verbatim, I believe, was you haven't played one since Modern Warfare 2.
Exactly.
That kind of stuff people have been asking for. Yes, the remastered things involved, but 1.7 million dislikes on a video is some fucking achievement, right? It's not a it's not just a blip in there. And hopefully that means they'll listen now. They'll still sell a shit ton of them because Modern Warfare's been repackaged with Infinite Warfare, so whatever.
How underhanded is that, though?
Dan, do you have anything to add to it?
Well, I mean...
You've been a silent protagonist.
We're making it out like it's a little bit of a victory, right? Like 1.7 million downvotes or something on the trailer or something, was it? I mean,
dislikes, yep.
You have 16 million copies sold a year. I mean, that's not a gigantic percentage of your fan base, right? So, like, I feel like all this hoo-ha can go now, but come November and it comes out, I feel like that trailer will be washed away until next year when they release another trailer for another game. Yeah. And it is hard to also predict trends in the game industry as well. Like, the people that made this is Infinity Ward is making Infinite Warfare, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But their last game was Ghosts. That was 3 years ago. Like, you know, they've obviously taken a direction. It's like, all right, we're going to just keep getting more modern. And then it turns out the gamers have gone the other way. So we probably will get a World War II or World War One game now that, like, Black Ops 3 is done. But that'll be 2 years away, and then we'll eventually get it. But I don't see them really losing out come November when the game comes out.
Oh,
yeah,
sure,
I don't think they'll lose out. Yeah, everybody's going to buy it. Everybody's going to play it. I don't think people are going to lose out as much as people are maybe indicating. But what will happen is it might wake Treyarch up. They've obviously already started on the development cycle for their next title. So are they going to go back to World War II, which they did so well? Are they going to maybe, take Black Ops back to the first one? Like, it was fantastic.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think Sledgehammer is the next one, and
they're definitely all future. They're definitely all future.
Yeah.
I don't think they know how to do World War. Like, Advanced Warfare was a massive shake-up from the formula, and it was one of the least, well, in my opinion, least interesting Call of Duties ever. So each to their own. I know people like different things, but the fact that it's been so rabidly hated is pretty insane. And I get what you're saying. Like, what did you say? 16 million players or something?
Yeah, 16 million copies sold, I think.
So getting close to 2 million people who have hit dislike.
Yeah, but how many of those do you think are not going to buy it?
Oh, yeah, I get your sentiment of where you're coming from, but what I mean is, of those 16 million, to say that's not a big portion, that's a pretty massive portion when you think of it in terms of, how many times 2 million goes into 16 million. It's
just like the amount of people that even bothered to press that button, like the amount of people that don't even press like at all in general, but the amount of people are like, you know what, I'm disgruntled enough, I'm going to press that downvote, goddammit. Like, seriously. Hilarious.
It'll be very interesting come November, which we will keep an eye on. The Overwatch beta ended, got extended for a day, ended again. Neither of you two played. Did either of you play it?
No.
No, I missed that one too, because life is balls. Just saying.
Yeah, I know. I thought you were going to download it and play a little bit with me over the weekend.
I did download it.
You just didn't get around to playing it?
No.
Sad
because
times.
LIFE.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I played a lot with Alana, doing other stuffs. We played in a full team the other night.
Played the game, you mean?
Yes, the game. Chunt. How many beers does this man need to have before everything's innuendo? Half of one.
This is my first.
Exactly. Yeah, so we had a full team, 6 players, coordinating, using the voice chat system. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I really like that game. I've been into detail about that already, though, in previous episodes. Chunt, are you gonna hop on the bandwagon? I know you were in a bit of an internal battle between that and Doom. Where are you sitting at the minute?
Oh man, look, I'm in the mood for something bright and colourful, and to just play happy, kind of bright character shooting things, and not exploding gory bits for a while. So I'm probably more inclined. once I've done moving, I would probably be inclined to buy something bright and cheerful. So Overwatch would be up my alley, that's for sure. But, I didn't notice before, but there's a character in there, the big robot ape thing, or a big monkey who wears a massive armored suit or something.
Yep.
That character design is fantastic. I was like, holy shit, these characters look awesome. Like, that enough for me would be like, shit, I want to play this game. And I've watched some gameplay late at night before bed. I checked out some videos because, like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going to get around to it. So I watched some gameplay, and yeah, it looks cool. It's something I could probably see putting on every now and then for a good half hour or so just to chill. Especially if you guys are playing it, I'll happily come on. But excuse me. But
PC first.
Oh, well, I'm out
That
of
changes his mind.
Yeah, well, can't help you there. Sorry.
Yeah, I swapped my pre-order over the other day to the PC version from the Xbox version. They play
I'll play by myself.
Yeah, you're good at that. Dan, where do your interest with Overwatch lie?
Down there somewhere, like really low, down out of camera. No, it does. It's fun and bright, colourful, but not for those reasons. But no, it's me.
It's bright and it's colourful. I hate it.
Yeah, I know, right? I need dark and depressing.
Things aren't allowed to be happy. goddammit.
Nah, it's not for me. Playing with other people. No, I don't go see people if that.
Yeah, I thought that would be the case. That's when Chunt raised the point earlier when we were talking in our group chat that he was considering either Doom or Overwatch. Doom has a campaign. Doom. It remains to be seen how good it is, and that's next on the news list. But just which is more sort of viable for someone who's more akin to playing a solo experience, because Overwatch is legit like multiplayer only. So
I am good at solo experiences.
That's good to know. And
I don't know how to take that.
Yeah, we'll move swiftly into the fact that Doom didn't go out for early access, early copies to review outlets.
Problem. It's a bit of worry, isn't it?
Problem, Will Wheaton? No problem.
Yeah, I think there's a problem. Because I remember they were showing off a lot, like at E3 last year, and probably towards the end of last year as well. They were showing off a lot of Doom, and then they went silent for a long time. And then past month they've shown some stuff, but then when I found out today that they're not releasing it to anybody, that's always a worrying sign.
Doesn't really
they're doing the whole server thing, aren't they? The servers won't be live, so why should outlets get it sooner? You've got a campaign, they can play the campaign, they can play the story bit, but they've not done that. It's a weird move as well, because you look at so id developing and Bethesda publishing. Bethesda, even with Fallout, although it was Bethesda's game, it was with people 2 or 3 weeks in advance. I get that it's a bigger game and it needs people to put time into form an opinion, but there's something suspect going on. All the negative Steam reviews that were left on the beta, bit lukewarm. I'll be very. It's not something that I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed playing it on PC. I'll be the underspoken person with that, but yeah, I'm not convinced that there's not something drastically wrong with that game. I agree with you, Dan. Chunt, are you still thinking about grabbing it?
What?
Are you still thinking about grabbing it at some point? Has it still got your interest peaked?
Oh, look, for a campaign, I'm good for any kind of campaign. If it interests me in the slightest, which Doom does. But see, I don't have a big problem if the multiplayer isn't as capturing as Overwatch might be, because very rarely do I play online unless it's with you guys or the odd 1 or 2 people that are on my list that I speak to regularly. I'm more inclined to play through a campaign a number of times than hop online, but in saying that, I'm trying to change that, because it just seems to be the way the landscape's going, where multiplayer is a big deal, and I don't want to inadvertently miss out on experiences like Overwatch just because of my discrepancies with those types of games that are online only. So look, I'm looking at it now. If there's negative reviews as far as the multiplayer goes, big deal. But if the campaign is cool and the story is cool and it's enjoyable, then I guess that's good enough. I mean, we're going to get to it later, but I guess it's like you don't play Uncharted for multiplayer, right? You play it for the story and the campaign. So multiplayer is like a whatever kind of factor in, as far as I'm concerned. So if it's a good campaign that can keep me held in that world, I'm good. So we'll just, I don't know, I'll see what happens. I might just end up flipping a coin, and hopefully it's colourful, and choose Overwatch.
Over under. Do you guys think the campaign over under 8 hours?
Under.
Didn't they already say that it's considerably longer than that? It'd take 15, 16 hours. I seem to remember reading something that it was quite a lengthy campaign, yeah. Which again makes even less sense as to why it's not been put in people's hands prior to release. But irrespective, like I agree with you, Chunt. If you're playing it for that reason, play it for that reason. We'll see. It comes out tomorrow. We'll see what the backlash is, whether there is any backlash, whether it's actually fantastic, and they were throwing a big curveball at an industry that seems to hate itself. And Chunt, I agree. Start flipping them coins because solo experiences are dying out. It's much more fun to play with other people.
Indeed.
No pun intended. So Mass Effect got officially delayed.
No.
We kind of suspected that for a bit. There was leaks about.
Well, we kind of knew.
Yeah, from the financial thing that they did when it's going to be Q4.
See, I forgot about that.
Fiscal quarter. That's fiscal year, sorry, but it's been made official now. Like they've said, look, it won't come out until that January to March, April period next year. Alana would be disappointed by that, but she already knows, so she's already given the disappointment its time. Are you surprised it took them this long to actually say something consumer facing?
Yeah.
I think they wanted to be sure, and they probably wanted to announce it before they got to E3, which is only a month away now. So
yeah,
this is the right time.
In all seriousness, these Mass Effect games or BioWare games or whatever, if they're delaying it, it's cool. All right, they're obviously taking the game as a priority. They're going to make it as good as they can. It's not just because problems that, just for argument's sake, Doom might be having. They just got problems and they don't want to announce anything. With Mass Effect, you just know that it might be something to do as far as the story or the quality of the game, just to give it that extra time. That's what I'm hoping anyway, because so far, my Mass Effect experience, I'll never forget that game. It's amazing. So if this is just going to make it a better product in the end, same stories all the time. Like with Batman Arkham Knight, I thought the same thing. My initial thought was, fuck you guys, but initially I was like, you know what, if it gives me a better game, that's cool.
Unless you play it on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that shit.
One of few brilliant ports to come to PC ever. And it's still not fixed magically. But yeah, I agree. If they're taking the time with it, take their time with it. I think we did talk about that when the whispers from the financials were, is Mass Effect going to be delayed? Well, I don't care. Mass Effect's a great series. I'm prepared to wait for it. Let it come to us when it wants to come to us. And Battleborn came out. Did either of you play the beta for that before it came out? I know we discussed that a few weeks back.
No, I didn't. I didn't, but God, I'm sick of seeing the ads everywhere.
They've gone heavy on the marketing, right? It's literally all over the buses and stuff in Sydney.
Every movie I've seen has always been in the cinema.
Movies,
it's always popped up. Every single YouTube video I watch always pops up. I just want them to come out, so I stopped seeing the damn ad.
Yeah, it's going to captivate certain kinds of people. It feels a lot like it. Well, it's a MOBA at its heart. It's a simplified MOBA, and it's taken a lot of elements from Borderlands. They should have just made the next Borderlands game, but I get that a team needs something to kind of break those things up. Borderlands is the next project they're working on, so those people that are not akin to MOBAs but want a bit more Borderlands probably go back to the Handsome Collection, which
I knew it was coming out. I knew Battleborn was coming out, but I didn't know it was this soon, and I had no idea it had already came out. I knew the beta happened, but I had no idea that this game was out until you guys mentioned it earlier tonight, and I was like, oh, right.
Yeah, so the beta happened really close. It was obviously a stress test for the servers, like the weekend before it came out. So let it do what it's doing. The Division pissed everyone off a bit more. The hype seems to have very much disappeared for that game. I've told you all how many hours I've put into it, and I actually haven't put any more in since. I've not booted it up for a couple of weeks now. It's
So explain why. As I don't. Chunt, did you play it?
I played the beta.
Yeah. Well, explain why it's pissed everybody off.
Because the issues with so hackers and cheating and those kind of things, they've been a lot more prevalent.
Standing in doorways.
Yeah, that was the first of many things. But in terms of again, it seems to have been a PC only problem, where there were exploits to, people were gearing up stupidly quick, and now you can't go into the dark zone without someone having an exploit running and they just kill you and take all your stuff. It's taken the fun away. But
that sucks.
They've changed some crafting mechanics as well, which annoyed everybody across the board. So if you manage to grind and craft things like a week before the last update, you could max out really, really quickly because you had supplies, and then they changed the supply levels and you needed like 3 times more of this equipment to craft stuff. And it's just like, right, so because I don't have a million hours to play this game, I then suffer. And they're just making some really silly errors that's kind of killing people's interest.
Can people still stand in doorways?
They can't stand in doorways. You can walk through them now. Which should have just existed to start with, because why should characters in an MMO environment be solid? But it's all these things are kind of stacking up. I think people are getting annoyed, and the incursion came out and wasn't like a raid like they were expecting. It was a horde room, and that got exploited the hell out of. So people were again gearing really quickly, and they claim that they're punishing these people, but I don't know. I've not read anything about perma bans or anything like that. So they don't appear to be taking it too seriously. It's just one of the things, like the hype has died away. They've made some mistakes. If you make mistakes during that launch window, people will remember and not come back. So we'll see what happens when
people on my friends list are still playing it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I haven't booted it for 2 weeks nearly. A lot of that's down to the fact that I've been playing Overwatch relentlessly, but yeah, it's not. It's not like
something kill so much, man. That's gonna eat Battleborn. It's gonna eat Doom. It's gonna eat everything else.
It is, and it's made by a very good studio and know what they're doing. So, not that the other studios don't know what they're doing, but when it comes to things like The Division, whilst they fix things very quickly, they're mistakes that shouldn't have been left in the game to start with. Damage done. Nvidia also annoyed some PC folk around there too, with their new graphics card, which are coming out at a ludicrously cheap price for what they are. Both Alana and I bought top-end graphics cards in the last 2-3 months, and well, they're not redundant because they're still going to be powerful for a good few years, but the new models are coming out at a good sort of $400 less than we paid for the ones that we bought. So annoying, but good to see that it's good to see they're making them more accessible, though. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of power for PC, so that it'll bring the entry bar down for VR as well, which is great because the biggest cost to a PC build is the graphics card. So they're lowering the point of entry. That's good, and you're going to have a piece of.
So how much is it?
So in American, I think they did the 1070 and 1080 to be the complements to the 970 and the 980, and then we had the 980 Ti. So I think American it was $499 for the 1070 and $699 for the 1080. So here it's basically you could get the 1080 here. I think Kotaku listed that it was going to be $900 when you think a good 980 Ti sets you back $1,100, $1,200. So it is a big deal. And it's more power, it's more effective. Do what you're doing. If you want cheaper access to VR, there you go. It's got drivers built in for VR, so great stuff. Any opinions on that? You both need to buy new graphics cards. Chunt, your PC doesn't have one, and Dan, your PC's dead.
I don't even have one. I don't game on my PC, man. I run emulators on it.
I could buy another console with that money. I was just thinking.
Buy 2 or 3.
We don't condone emulation gaming. Just covering Chunt's arts.
Yeah.
No, I'm just talking shit. I don't do that at all. Yeah.
Stuffs. And yeah, Dan, if it would it entice you, or would you, like you said, you could buy another console with that? Is it a bother?
Nah, it's not bothering me. The game's got to be good. I mean, I don't know. I'm coming off. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But I'm coming off Uncharted 4 right now, so I'm like, when it's talking about high performance and stuff, I'm a bit confused. But we'll
Look,
no.
it comes down to perspective, eh? Like, seriously.
But it's all dependent on
Perspective-wise,
like,
as far as cost goes.
if you feel like sorry, John, go ahead.
No, like perspective, right? It's $1,000. Let's say that, just easy $1,000 for a graphics card. A lot of people out there will probably be thinking, "What the hell are you doing buying something that goes into your computer that you'll never see again unless you have a window for $1,000?"
I do.
Yes, it'll give you. Yes, it'll give you better graphics and that kind of crap. But it's perspective, right? Like, yeah, it's $1,000, but you could spend that on like me, for example, a few statues or something like that, or a new console that you were thinking of getting, or if you wanted to go buy drugs or something. I don't know. It's all perspective. Like, yeah, price is one thing. It's important and it's a matter of fact. But man, like, if I was a PC gamer and I heard this news and I had not upgraded my graphics card, or if this guy was like, you know what, I think I might go into PC gaming, since you guys told me about this, I'd be like, well, cool. I can have a quality card that's on the level of what you guys spent, but cheaper. To me, that's like, well, sweet. There's my entry point. Like, that seems appealing to me, as far as the way the way you guys have conveyed the news to me. I haven't really looked into it besides what you guys told me, but had I decided to go, you know what, fuck consoles off completely, I want to just turn this box over here into a PC gaming rig, and I can see my graphics card right to that little window and say, hello, how you going? I would probably be inclined to do so.
Yeah, I think it's good.
And don't get me wrong, like, I understand why people would spend the money. You know, it's kind of like when I talk about online multiplayer. Like, I don't personally like playing online, but I understand the appeal of playing online. It's the same thing with upgrading PCs with this stuff. I understand why people do it, and it's a thing. It's just not something that I have the energy or the money or the time to invest in.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, it's a good. I think it's what is great is it's the first time that I've ever noticed that Nvidia have done something and gone, here's something better for literally like getting close to a third less of the price of what you can buy our current stuff for.
Yeah,
more companies should take a leap on that, because we spend a lot of money on technology and shit's getting very expensive these days. So, well done to them, and I'm sure they're going to do smashingly well off the back of it. Last piece of news is that EA have teased a new IP for their pre-E3 press show. Have we got any ideas or inklings as to what we think it might be, or what you would like it to be? Daniel.
Is this gigantic? Gigantic?
That's another piece of news that I read just as we were going live. Gigantic's been picked up, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Dan, EA?
My want and my think is the same. And I don't think it's not as surprising. I think people want to just be given something that's totally new, and I don't think they're exactly going to get it. But I just feel like they're going to announce Amy Hennig's Star Wars game and what it actually is. Now that we're out from Battlefront, now that Uncharted is out, she was the one that started Uncharted, wrote the 3 Uncharted games, like all this press around that, plus the fact, they can say, and we have a Star Wars game coming out around the time Rogue One comes out in December. I reckon it'll just be that, to be honest.
No, they're going to drop their house down. They're going to bring out Tiger Woods 2016. Mark my words.
With the new IP thing being sort of, it can be considered jargon. Do you know what I mean? Like, a new IP can be something that's just not an established property. Like, they know that, I agree with you, Dan. They've got the rights to Star Wars, but that doesn't mean that there couldn't be a totally new project within the Star Wars universe. I think as well, I'd like them to go down that route, and I think that's probably one they will go down. I can't think of anything that EA have done where they've gone, hey, here's a new franchise that's mind-blowing for years. Like, a lot of what they work with is established IP.
If it's going to be Star Wars, make it a Knights of the Old Republic or a Jedi Knight Academy type game.
Type game, yeah. I'm all for a type game. I obviously couldn't be one of those franchises because it wouldn't be considered as new IP,
but like a type game, like a Jedi Outcast or Jedi Academy game today. That type of game would be smashingly beautiful.
Yeah, but you have to be a Jedi. You have to have force powers. Sick of all this military shit.
Yeah, but
So move it, as you just said then about is it Gigantic? So Gigantic has been picked up by someone. I closed GameSpot, so I don't know what it was that they said, who it was that picked it up, but it's actually going to be published by someone else. So the work's been picked up. It's going to be published by somebody else on PC and Xbox One.
By like 2020.
No, pretty soon. Still sticking to its development schedule apparently. So more news on that. Obviously, when it happens, we can talk about it. I don't think there's anything more worth talking about in that regard right now. And then something came out this week, something that we've been baiting Dan a little bit about for a while, but in complete jest, Uncharted 4 did finally come out. You, Dan, have played it, you have finished it, you have formed an opinion on it, you are going to review it, so no spoiler worries, but I'll let you have 5 minutes to talk about it.
One question, did you cry?
Did you cry?
Did I cry? No, I didn't cry. I don't think...
But you're not a crier. You're not a crier. You didn't get upset with life.
I'm a crier. No, I'm a crier.
This would make you cry, if anything.
No, I don't think... I think that they wanted you to get emotional and nostalgic, but I don't think they wanted to make you cry. I think they were going for a different feel than just that. It did... Yeah, I'm not even going to say that. Alright. So yeah, I played it. It took me about 14 hours to finish. I spent a little bit of Tuesday night playing it, and then pretty much from 10 a.m. Wednesday till 9 p.m. I pretty much played through.
Fuck. That's the way.
It moves at an awesome pace, putting you in all different environments, which is really great. You get a lot of good closure with each of the characters. The story is so good, especially coming from the guys that made The Last of Us, which there's a lot of inspiration from The Last of Us, just in terms of like environmental storytelling and stuff. But the new little, it's still Uncharted gameplay if you want. If you just want to go through the story, they have a bunch of settings there where if you just want it to be kind of like an auto aim, you can do that if you want, or you can turn that off and make it a bit more challenging for yourself, let alone the 5 different...
I thought there was an explorer mode.
No, I didn't... Like, you can explore during the levels, because they're much more open than normal Uncharted games. Other Uncharted games are more get from A to B. This is still get from A to B, but hey, did you want to take path A, B, or C to get there? Like, you can go around, find collectibles and stuff like that. And the world, like, it is so good looking, like, ridiculously good looking, that I understand why they allow you to do that. And, they have a photo mode that you can use at any time. Just take a photo, basically, and upload it.
Yeah, it does look insanely good.
When you just said about those branching paths, so
yeah,
we're back at PSX as we watched PSX. We watched it together. Some of it, I was asleep for other bits of it. But when they were showing that thing off, where it was like that was where they did the dialogue options, right? Where you could pick what answer to give. So just saying about branching off in different directions, did that wind up being a big thing, or is it only a select few moments in the game where you can do that?
I counted about 5 or 6 of those moments where you could select the different options, but they didn't change the story whatsoever.
Right, so it's all just contextual within the conversation that was happening as opposed to affecting the narrative string.
Yeah, but what was really good when you did it, they all sounded like Nathan Drake when you did them. So there's one point which is really funny towards the start, which I won't give away. But basically, you're given these three options, and you're like, none of these are going to help me, but like they all sound like something Drake would say. So it's just something, and as I said, there are only like 5-6 points that you do it. So I don't know. I think it's something that maybe Naughty Dog are dabbling in, which is what they tend to do with a lot of their games, which is they'll introduce a small little mechanic. Like in Uncharted 3, they started working more with like melee combat, and then when Last of Us came out, they had like this brutal, full-on melee combat. So then I feel like it might be something that they're working on for maybe a new game.
Okay, fair enough. Is there anything else you want to actually say about it? What's your, without, you are reviewing it, so save full opinions for that, but what could you use as sort of a defining sentence for your time with the game?
I feel like with my review, it's going to be a really hard game to review because it's one of those things. The game is obviously for people that have played the Uncharted before, but it's those questions of, do you recommend this game to someone that's never played Uncharted? Can someone play it without ever playing the other ones? I think you can, but I think you lose. There's so much nostalgia throughout the game, which only small stuff like when they're just talking with each other and bantering. You know, is it always like this? Like, well, yeah, maybe, yeah, no, it is. Like, and you get that because you've gone through it with them. I think that's going to be. I'm still not sure where I land on that, and I don't know where I land on it in terms of the whole series of whether it's my favorite, because it is very different to the other three while still feeling like Uncharted.
Cool. Well, at least you seem to have enjoyed your time with it, and as much as we have said, like, for the last few months, like, oh, it'll eventually kind of like taking the pill. I am very happy that you've enjoyed it. I'm very pleased that it's done really well. As I agree with an awful lot of sentiment for what people say about Naughty Dog. I've not played any of their last 4 games properly, but they're a developer that are clearly doing a good job and giving the industry something great. So I'm pleased they've had good success with it. I'm pleased you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to reading/watching your review of it.
And I think I'm going to have a dabble in the multiplayer, but I think my review will be single player only, just to save time, and because that's what people are reading about.
The controversy, Dan. You can't do that.
Well, yeah. Well, for those people who get stuff, I don't care. If you don't want to read the review, don't want to read the review.
Exactly.
Subjectivity. Yeah. Cool. Well, Chunt, what have you actually been playing? We'll move into our what we've been playing section. What have you played recently in the last 3 weeks?
Universe Online.
That it? Could you get into it?
Yes.
Because I had to queue for 4.5 days, apparently.
Hey, man, on launch, I downloaded the thing, and I woke up the next day, clearly went to work, came home, and then I put it on, and I got straight in and set up my character without a problem. But now I've bought the Ultimate Pack, which unlocks everything as far as content-wise goes, and you get priority in the log-on thing. So for those of you who are just jumping in, playing it, and have to wait in the queue, people like this guy can just be like, sorry, excuse me, ultimate player here, ultimate player, and just go right in.
And people like this guy can go, hey, that $100 looks nice.
Yeah. Hey, man.
$100 for a queue jump.
5 years worth of content, come on.
Yeah, I know, I'm messing with
you.
No,
but
I legit couldn't get in. I tried. I played it on when I first got my PS4, and I enjoyed it. So I was like, oh, cool, it's on the Xbox now. That thing's always plugged in, so I'll play it on there. And I couldn't get into a game. Create my character, and it was like, you have to wait for approximately 3 days and 23 hours to get into this server. And I was like, you can fuck off. Turned it off, and I haven't turned it back on since.
I'm sure they're going to fix that. Cause that's
they need to.
Like, I'm sure
they do. Because I was keen. I was like, oh, I'll probably spend most of the day playing this.
Yeah, well, you can't say free to play game, but you have to wait 3 days to get in. Like, that's kind of shit.
Exactly. It's not that's not free to play. It's you can't play. So
yeah,
whatever. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I'll go back to it. I don't think I will. Have you played anything else?
Yeah, just some Mario and Zelda over at my brother's place. Really, just exploring different games that I haven't really got a chance to play on the Wii U. Played Halo 5 for a bit again the other night, just to I want to wet my palate again on that game. I'm gonna review that, not review it, revisit that game because even though it was so long ago and we've backed it out so much, I'm not satisfied. I don't think my opinion is complete. I need to go back and just redo it. So when I'm back in my own place, I'm going to replay that game and just really see if I can validate it.
Let me know when you do, because I'll co-op it with you, because I still haven't finished it either.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Dan, what have you managed to play anything other than Uncharted? Were you playing anything in the run-up?
Nah, I was just counting down the days, really, to Uncharted. I am looking forward to Shadow of the Beast, which comes out in a couple of weeks, so I'll review that one too. But Uncharted, and now I might just write a review, and I might even go back and play Uncharted if I get the time.
Yeah, I've been, as I mentioned a few weeks back, quite burnt out on how much I'd put into the Division. I'd put a lot into it and felt like I hadn't really been away from the computer, so I stepped away for a bit. Played Overwatch when the open beta went live for that. I played quite a bit of that over the weekend. I don't think I've played much of anything else. Played a bit of FIFA. I always play a bit of FIFA, so nothing new there. That's about it. Like I actually can't think of another game that I've picked up and played. I went back into Borderlands. I played Borderlands for maybe like 2 hours, so I went back into Borderlands 2 because I bought the Handsome Collection when it came out. And I was trying to get back into that, and I was like, there's clearly a lot of story here. This is something that I can just play while there's nothing really there. And I lasted about an hour and just thought, I don't know if this is just losing its, like, not aged well or something, because this just wasn't gripping me. And I need to go back to The Witcher and finish Hearts of Stone before the final expansion for that comes out later in the month, because it is a magnificent game.
Well, I lied, actually. I've been playing other games as well. Just came to mind. May as well throw it in there since we're on the topic. I've still been trying to beat Altered Beast, man. Altered Beast on the Sega Mega Drive. Seriously. I can't. I get to the last level and just get fucked. It's just, you have 2 lives, and that's it. And you can't continue. And I haven't finished that game. I've never been able to beat the actual cartridge version since 1990. So I'm so damn keen to try and beat this stupid game. Seriously, man. And just playing like Sonic 1 and 2 on the Mega Drive. I've yet to play Sonic 3 yet. Just trying to get through these old classics. Legit copies, Jamie, not emulated copies, just to clarify.
You said the word emulator, I didn't. But I am pleased you. I'm pleased you found some nostalgia with stuff like that. It's something that I don't really do enough of.
Oh man, it's good shit.
Briefly, Chunt, I remembered a piece of news, and this isn't news, it's more something that I just want to have a quick conversation with you about, because I don't think I really had time to address your excitement for it the other morning when I woke up after probably 3 hours sleep. Pokemon Sun, Moon.
Yes.
You seem very excited.
So what?
You seem very excited.
Yes. Man, did you see that lion legendary thing? My god, that thing looks amazing. I want that. I was pretty set on getting Moon, just based on the logo and the name. But then I saw the trailer for the new Pokemon, I was like, that's a stupid seal clown thing, but I'm going to choose that because I've always choose water types, like, since forever. And then the trailer's like, here's a massive lion legendary thing that looks like the Liger from Zoids. And I was like, shit, I need that. I'm buying Sun now. There goes another $300 and something on a 3DS and a Pokemon game. Thank you very much, Nintendo.
My reaction was a bit less warm, but it's because I'd been earlier in the week. I'd watched some videos on YouTube about people, people that are really big parts of that community and gone like hypothesizing what what these legends could be, where the direction of the series could go, what a region could look like. The rumor about Hawaii has been like the region inspiring the game for a while, and that's cool. That's fine.
Rad.
But
Yes.
about 3 days before this happened, in terms of this is what they are, there was people talking that Ho-Oh and Lugia could return as the legendaries and have mega evolutions. Ho-Oh being the bird of the sky, that's all like his logo. His tower's the sun tower, for God's sake. Like it all made sense. But they just went and didn't do that. And I think I was kind of hoping for Ho-Oh and Lugia and a new region. But these guys, I disagree that they look great. The lion thing, whatever it ends up being called, does look pretty badass, but it also looks like about 4 other Pokemon just got mashed together, and this is what they came up with. It's not very original, but they have to be running out of ideas by now. They really have to be running out of ideas.
There's like 10 bajillion Pokemons.
Exactly. Like, there's too many. How are you ever going to catch them all?
Fuck
Their
that,
tagline
man.
is now nigh on impossible, so you have to be a
Don't bother trying to catch them.
Yeah, don't bother catching them all. Is their new tagline. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in. But
the Bat Legendary looks just stupid. Like,
exactly,
that's
it looks
just
ridiculous.
turned me right off buying that copy. So my Legendary, I don't think of a bat or like a weak furball with like wings. Like that's not legendary to me. When I look at the lion, I'm like, yeah, that guy's got some presence. He could be legendary. So that
I did
one
see a
little
Twitter
factor
comment.
turned me to buy Sun.
I saw a Twitter comment that was like, have you ever seen Zubat's final form? And it was like, yes, that is Zubat's final form.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, much like you,
Yeah.
I will still buy it. I buy it. I played every Pokemon game since the first one, so like I'll still buy it. And I will also pick Sun because fuck that Moon thing. And
Yes.
hopefully it actually does wind up being a pretty good game. And that'll wrap us
Fuck
up
that
because
Moon thing.
we have gone for the best part of an hour, which is great. We actually managed to fit all
Oh,
that
quick.
in relatively quick time. When I was sending you through those things that had happened, I was like, this could get quite lengthy.
Yes.
But we've kept it to a good speed and a good time. I thank
Smashing.
people who have watched this for watching it. I thank you two for
Yes.
joining me and taking your
We
taking your
love you
views.
all.
Welcome.
Thanks for putting up with my shit.
I was thanking you and then I choked. So thank you guys for joining me.
Don't get emotional, Jamie. Don't get emotional.
Start crying. I'm choking on thin air. Enjoy your coming weekends. We will have a conversation next week. We will get back into doing this weekly. Things have been a bit topsy-turvy, but never mind. We should by then have had some more news and stuff. The week after we get Overwatch and the Witcher expansion, so there'll be plenty of things that we are actually playing and enjoying, hopefully. And we'll see you then.
Yes. Toodaloos.